You're ready to begin.
All rise. The First Circuit Court of Party is about to begin. Honorable Judge Kamaya presiding. You may be seated. The case of Gwinnett County versus Mr. Wolf has begun. Prosecution, are you ready to begin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you ready to give your opening statement?
Don't forget, yes, Your Honor, every time.
This is the case of Gwinnett County versus the Big Bad Wolf.
Mr. Prosecutor, don't forget you'll need to address your jury. I know you're nervous. Take a deep breath. Don't forget you're going to introduce yourself and you're going to say the basic details of the case. Remember, as we practice.
The basic details of the case is Mr. Wolf has eaten 2 pigs and destroyed 2 houses. Or properties. We will prove him to be guilty
Of these crimes.
of these crimes.
Ms. LeBron, are you ready to give your opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you may think you know the true story of the 3 little pigs, but I will show you the true story
And
and prove that Mr. Wolf is not guilty.
Prosecution, are you ready to bring up your first witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Mama Pig. Will be the first witness.
Mama Pig,
Mama Pig.
you have to call.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may sit down.
How do you feel about your 2 sons being murdered?
At first, I thought it was a joke, a prank, but then later, I went to check on my sons and their homes. Well, first, the straw house was blown down and there was a pile of bones next to it. When I looked at the stick house, it was blown down and next to it there was also a pile of bones, but the brick house was still intact.
It's all.
You may be seated. Prosecutor, do you have another witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Brandon the pig.
Raise your right. Hove, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may be seated.
How do you feel about your brothers being murdered by the big bad wolf?
I feel sad because they're my only siblings that I love.
What do you that's all.
On the day of, like,
Oh.
before your brothers were killed, before your brothers were killed,
Before your brothers were killed, what do you
did you see? What was Mr. Wolf doing?
what was Mr. Wolf doing?
He was wandering around, thinking, doing nothing.
Try that again. I think you did such a better job when we rehearsed this.
He had when we were walking by, we saw him, and he had a hungry look on his face.
Objection. You can, the witness cannot read my client's mind.
Abstain.
That's all.
You may be seated. Prosecution, do you have any other witnesses?
Yes, defendant Mr. Big Bad Wolf.
Objection. The prosecution should not, they don't know if he done anything big or bad, or if he is bad.
His name is.
His-
Remember? His name is. You want-
His name is Mr. Wolf.
Right, and then she has to rule on your objection.
Overruled. That's the nickname that we're calling him, that the prosecution is calling him by.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may be seated.
Where were you that day?
Which day?
Where were you on April 2nd?
I was wandering around asking people if I can get some sugar to make my grandma's birthday cake.
What did you say to the 3 little pigs?
I said nothing except, can I get some sugar?
That's all.
You may be seated. Ms. LeBron, do you have any witness you would like to call?
Yes, Your Honor. A mama pig.
This one.
Oh, Judge, you remind her she's already been sworn in.
You've already been sworn in. You may be seated.
Where were you the day of April 2nd? I was getting ready to go to work at the bookstore I work at.
Well, how? At what time did you figure out that your 2 sons were murdered?
Were what? Oh my goodness.
Were
Okay.
slaughtered.
I forgot to remind you, I will be reserving the right to guide as we, defense attorney, you, remember I said, you don't say negative words, you're not trying to say murder, guilty, you wanna say he's innocent. When my client was walking by, not when he was stalking by, anything like that. So when you ask Mama Pig, at what time did she learn, I don't know if you wanna find out what time she learned of her pig's death, or unless you're trying to establish that she couldn't possibly have been where she said she was at the time, or seen him, or something like that. You want to disprove her story, even though she's so nice.
What time did you find your sons missing? Around 2. I got a call that 2 of my sons have been murdered. That's it.
Maybe seen it.
Okay, I'm gonna take a moment here as well. All right, this would be your time to tear her story apart. And Mr. Prosecutor, same thing, like when he played innocent up here on the stand, and you know his belly is full and everything, you know, that there indeed were piles of bones, like you should be trying to say, well, those pile of bones could have been from any roadkill or something like that. Yeah, picked clean by a vulture. But my client, well, you wouldn't say that, you'd wait till you question him, but you would really try to not even place him at the scene. But if she says what time she was going to work at the bookstore, you would question her about how she would know what she's saying she knows. She says she got a call, okay, that her sons were murdered. To say, then you could actually object to that and say, objection, Your Honor. It has not been proven that the 2 sweet little pigs. You could be nice to the 2 little pigs. Has not been proven that the 2 little pigs were murdered. And then you can instruct the jury. They would have to call her up again. Mama Pig, come on up.
Mama Pig, come on.
Oh, no.
Order in the court. Order in the court, people.
You can start the questioning all over again.
What were you doing the day of April 2nd?
I was getting ready to go to work at the bookstore I work in.
What time did you figure out that your sons were found missing?
Around 2 o'clock, I got a call that 2 of my sons were murdered.
Objection. How did you know that they were murdered? They could have just run away or something.
Sustained.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you instruct the witness to just answer the question, the simple question. You have to ask her more like a yes or no question, or only give facts, not like her opinion of what she thinks happened. Okay? Yeah. So you have to tell her that. Excuse me, Your Honor, you have to tell the witness that. Please,
Mama Pig,
you can please just give the facts, do not give your opinion.
Please just give the facts and not your opinion.
Say yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now you, so if you want to ask her the question again, you could say, what was the question?
What was the question?
No, you, okay, no, you ask her the question again.
About what time did you find out that your sons were missing?
Around 2 o'clock, I got a call that said that 2 of my sons were murdered.
Objection. How did you know that they were murdered? They could have ran away or something.
Sustained.
So, at work, my lunch break is at 2:30. So at 2:30, I went over to my son's homes, and I saw that the straw house was blown down, and there was a pile of bones next to it. The stick house was also blown down, and there was another pile of bones next to it, but the brick house remained intact.
Objection. How do you how do you know that it was your son's? It could have been like some other roadkill.
The bones belonged to pigs.
Okay, wait a minute. You can't object if you're expecting her to answer. And if she objects, and Judge, the objection actually seemed a little bit out of place. She's just saying what she saw. But you can make it in the form of a question and say, how do you know those were the bones of your son? Are you, and then you might follow up with, are you a forensic expert? Which would not be nice to Mama Pig, but it would be, really, that's what attorneys do. They pick that story apart. So you're not objecting, you just want to follow up with a question, a very pointed question like, are you a forensic, how did you know that those were the bones of your sons? Well, and then she's gonna, flutter around and you're gonna say, but only a forensic expert would know.
Are you a forensic expert?
No.
Then how did you know those were the bones of your son?
All the bones, every pig's bones look alike.
But only a
Forensic
expert would know how bones would look like of an animal.
Would be able to tell that those were your sons.
Would be able to tell that those are your son's bones.
Say, I have no further questions for this witness.
I have no further questions
This witness, Your Honor.
for this witness, Your Honor.
You may be seated. Ms. Lamont, do you have any other witnesses to call?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Brandon Pig.
This witness has already been sworn in. Sworn in. You may be seated.
What were you doing on April 2nd?
I was looking on my TV, watching the local news until I heard a knock on the door, and heard somebody say, let me in, and then I looked to see who it is, and it was the wolf, and I refused to open the door, and then he said, I'll blow your house down.
Which one is true, Mr. Wolf?
Wait, you don't ask him. Okay. You say, excuse me, are you saying that the wolf at your door was this Mr. Wolf? You have to you're gonna make him prove that that's the same wolf.
Okay. Was that Mr. Wolf that was at your door?
Yes.
How do you know?
I could tell by how his teeth looked.
How?
If that sounds strange to you, say, strange, that's strange, but I think most people would not know.
That's strange. I don't think most people would know who people are by how their teeth look.
Well, there are not that many wolves in where I live.
Okay, but there is more than one wolf.
But there is more than one wolf that lives in Gwinnett County.
Isn't that right? Say, isn't that right?
Isn't that right?
Yeah, that might be true, but all of those wolves are smaller, and they are brown.
Are you an animalologist?
Order in the court. Order in the court.
No.
Then how do you know it's not a different wolf?
Because he's always had gray fur.
But he has brown fur.
Order in the court.
What's switch it to say everybody else has gray fur and he only has brown fur?
How do you switch it?
Wait, don't get in an exchange with him. You say, I'm asking the questions here, sir.
I'm asking the questions here, sir.
No, maybe that's a little smarter. Maybe an attorney would not quite say that. You would say, you would say, Your Honor, please instruct the witness to answer my question.
Your Honor, please instruct the witness to answer my question.
Mr. Brandon Pig, please just answer the questions. Aren't you going to ask a question?
How?
Did you see?
Wait, did you see the death? Wait, did you see the deaths of the pigs?
Yes, I saw pig bones on the floor in Straw and Steakhouse.
But did you see the exact death of the pigs?
No,
And then how do you know those are pig bones and could have been your brothers?
they have pig skulls and we're the only pigs where we live.
And how did you know that Mr. Wolf ate them, if he did?
Because he's the only wolf around here.
But you already said that there's probably more than one wolf who lives here.
I have
Yeah.
no questions. Cut it. Questions.
I have no more questions.
You may be seated.
Thank you.
I'm glad to get away.
Order in the court. No. Miss LeBron, do you have any other witnesses?
Yes,
The
Your
defense
Honor.
would like to call.
I would like to call the defense.
No, the defense, well, you are the defense. The defense would like to call Mr. Wolf.
I would like to call Mr. Wolf,
Who are you?
the defense.
Well, the defense would like to call Mr.
The
Wolf.
defense would like to call Mr. Wolf.
All right. This way, please. Remind me this question.
You have already been sworn in. You may be seated.
Where were you at the time of April 2nd?
Asking people if I can get some sugar.
Why would they? Why would you need sugar?
So I can make my grandma's birthday cake.
Well-
Ms. LeBron, are you ready for that evidence?
Yes.
To Your Honor, excuse me, if it pleases the court, I'd like to present this evidence.
Please, as the court, I would like to present this evidence.
You may.
Order in the court. Order in the court. Order, people.
But I'll let you know a secret. Nobody knows the real story. Because nobody ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf. Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me that. I don't know how this big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. It's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story.
Yes, this is.
Way back in once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny, and I had this terrible sneezing cold, and then I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright neither. He had his whole house built out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind builds a house out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't just want to walk right into someone else's house, so I called out. Hello? Little pig? Little pig, are you in? Are you in here? No answer. I was just about to go home without a cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. And that's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? That whole darn house fell down. And right in the middle of that pile of straw was our first little pig, dead as a doornail. He'd been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner just, lying there in the straw. So I ate it up. I ate the pig. Thinking it was like a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. Now this neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had a house built of sticks. I rang the bell in the stick house. Nobody answered. And then I called. Hey, Mr. Pig! Mr. Pig, are you in? Then he yelled back.
Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin.
I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth this time, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not gonna believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. And when the dust cleared, there was a second little pig dead as a doornail. Wolf's on him. Now, food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing that was left to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as like a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have my cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. And this guy was the first and second pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family, because he had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. So I called. Mr. Pig! Hey, Mr. Pig, are you in? Do you know what that rude little porker said to me?
Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again.
Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar in there. And you wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear sweet granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. And then the third little pig yelled,
And your old granny can sit on a pin.
Now I'm usually a pretty calm fellow. When somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. The cops drove up, of course. I was trying to break down the pig's door. And the whole time I was...
If you cut out the eating part,
Brandon, the line. Thank you.
just ignore the eating part. But if not,
Okay, remember, did you see me motions like, do you want me to cut this? And you were like, that might have been the time to cut it. Now,
because I wanted to show the proof when the brick pig or the Brandon said your grandmother can go sit on a pin.
oh, okay, he said that. didn't he? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, proceed. So, Mr. Wolf.
So, Mr. Wolf, was that the true story?
Oh, yes, it was.
Did you write that yourself?
Oh, no, I did not.
Yes.
He murdered 2 pigs
With-
and blew down both houses.
That hasn't been proven yet. Sit down.
Overruled. Haven't been proven yet.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Was the murdering part real? Or missing part real? Eating part?
Yes, it was. Wait. No.
Okay, don't look at me. You were supposed to prepare your client, your witness. I don't know what you. See, don't look at me for help now.
No.
You have to figure out a way to get him to be quiet with that, or don't ask him that. Don't even bring it up.
Okay.
Like say, well, so did you get a cup of sugar for the cake?
Did you get a cup of sugar for your granny's cake?
No.
You might want them to feel sorry for him, like
No, I did not.
Can you show the picture of the
let's see.
wolves are endangered creatures.
Wait, that might be, you might need to use that in your closing, dear. That's-
Let's ignore that.
Ignore that.
Ignore that.
Okay, we're just gonna wait on that, okay? Go ahead. Do you have any more questions?
No.
You may be seated.
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any other witnesses, Mr. Brown?
No, Your Honor.
Prosecution, you may now say your closing statement.
The wolf said himself,
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the wolf said literally that he did murder the 2 pigs. And that he should be guilty. And that he is guilty for it. You must find him guilty for this because he murdered 2 innocent little pigs and one doing their own little business.
Mr. Brown, are you ready to say your closing statement?
Yes, Your Honor. In that story that was written, well, he just wanted some sugar for his dear old granny's birthday cake. And again, Brandon threatened his grandma to go sit on a pin, which is a very bad threat. And yeah, wolves are very endangered creatures, and I think, and this is why.
wait, slow down a minute. Wolves listed as endangered. And keep going.
And this picture shows that these men are killing these poor wolves. Who would kill this animal? Does this look like a killer to you?
Order in the court, people, calm it down, order.
And this is why I think Mr. Wolf is not guilty of these charges.
one point you can really drive home is the witness, Mr. Brandon Pig, clearly stated that, remember this part? Stand up and readdress the jury.
But
One of the witnesses clearly stated
that his fur was gray, but his fur is brown.
that Mr. Wolf's fur
But Mr. Wolf's fur is brown.
clearly brown.
Clearly brown.
No, so you must, I'm sorry, that's why I didn't see, you forgot. You must find him innocent of all charges.
And this is why Mr. Wolf should be innocent of all charges.
Members of the jury, now it is time for me to instruct you about the law you must follow in deciding this case. I will start explaining your duties and the general rule that apply in every criminal case. The defendant is accused of, you may find him guilty or not guilty of each separate court count of murder, or you may find him guilty of a lesser charge of second-degree murder or voluntarily manslaughter. Mr. Wolf is also charged with the 2 counts of destruction of property. The sentencing for voluntary manslaughter is 1 to 20 years, second-degree murder is 1 to 30 years, and malice murder is death, life without parole, or life with parole, or eligibility after 30 years.
Say that to the judge, you have to tell them.
Jury, you may go to the jury room and decide your decision of the case of Mr. Wolf.
I will escort you. Please. I'm just gonna, flag here real quick. Tow it.
How many days are we gonna be here?
We got up there in the Holiday Inn Express tonight.
Right. We are not supposed to be going home.
When's my gift card?
Now, you know Mr. Wolf guilty, but they didn't prove it by
Right, they
reasonable doubt, so you know.
It's just, I'm distraught.
Oh, we have to put our final thing, so anybody want to nominate a foreman?
I thought who had the paper? I thought you
Yeah,
had
I'm
the
passing
paper.
it
That's the,
around.
oh, okay, that's the form.
That's the
Yay!
So what we supposed to put on there? Oh.
You ever hung jury?
Brown and gray.
He's not even old enough to be on a jury.
Yeah.
You say guilty? You like?
We're not gonna be all. Gotta go back to work, man.
Oh, I'm hungry. I'm not eating. I'm not eating anything.
Not man one, but man two. But
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling bad though. That video did not do any justice, I'll tell you that.
The defense didn't prove it. We know he ate them, but they didn't prove it.
I have some reasonable doubts.
That's right.
There's reasonable doubt.
Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow.
yeah, you said that it was reasonable doubt.
We're gonna have a legit decision. I'm gonna leave.
Honestly, you know the whole rule about that, right? Reasonable doubt. If you're not sure, you don't know enough to make a decision, then you can't really
Yeah, then we have to stay here all weekend.
I know, I'm like, come on. Okay, so we have one guilty.
Either one guilty.
Are you absolutely positively sure from the evidence that you saw?
That's right. You tell us why.
The wolf was brown.
The wolf was brown. Look at her daddy over there. The wolf was brown. Oh my God! But he's still recording. They were dead when we got there. They were dead when we got there. That vest was brown.
I mean,
I'll put guilty.
Just sneaking.
There's so much doubt, yeah.
Yeah, you see?
Because he said he went to the house of snow, so that's manslaughter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he admitted it, so.
You didn't hear that part.
You know, if they're already dead, that's not manslaughter, that's just cleaning.
No, we got
Because it was his fault that they died. He unintentionally made the houses fall when we killed them.
But were they dead before?
Yeah, because
The first one we don't know, because he didn't
Right.
say anything.
Yeah, so that's what it's the second one is. So that's what they said. Like you can have each instance. So the first
That's
one, not.
true. That's
The second
true.
one's guilty, manslaughter.
So what do we have now?
So it's unanimous.
Okay, so we're good.
All right.
We
have a decision.
We've reached a decision. Let the judge know.
And the former has spoken.
Andrew.
He's going to tell him. I guess I should videotape that.
You do. You need to videotape Andrew doing his thing. Because you working a big thing.
Turn us off.
They're working by zone. So, 30 minutes.
Oh. Be sure.
Follow me, please.
No, you don't follow him. The judge didn't come in yet. Sit down.
Please
No.
stay standing.
He's gonna tell you all.
All rise. The First Circuit Court of Party is now in session. Honorable Judge Kamaya presiding.
You may be seated.
Say, is the defense present? Yeah, is the defendant present?
Is the defendant present? Yes.
You ask him to rise, please rise. Oh, has the jury reached a decision?
Has the jury reached a decision?
Yes, Your Honor.
So ask the defendant to rise, and defense you rise with him, because you are with him. Excuse me, sit down.
Order in the court.
Okay, but you have to ask the defendant, please.
Defendant and defense, you may now rise.
No, you say, please rise.
Please rise. Please rise.
All right, and they instruct the bailiff to go get the decision.
Bailiff, please make the decision.
You don't read it, you just hand it. Look at it. Nosy. In the case of, Lynette versus Mr. Wolf.
In the case of Lynette.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Okay. In some cases, the jury member, the jury chairperson would read it. So, but you look at it. Okay, and then you can hand it back and give it back if she wants to read it. Okay, and give it back to the bailiff. He can give it to the jury chairperson. And then you ask her, what do you find? What does the jury find, or something like that?
What does the jury find?
Your Honor, we
the jury find the defendant not guilty.
And you say on all counts or on which counts?
On all counts or on which counts?
On all counts, Your Honor.
Okay, and you take it down and you say, Mr. Wolf, you are dismissed.
Mr. Wolf, you are dismissed.
And
You can't believe it.
And I say, jury members, thank you for your service. You are dismissed.
Jury members, thank you for your service. You are now dismissed.